need to go. These are some things we need to do. He needs to guard some stuff. You know, a good man, and especially in his home and whether in his business or whatever, he should be watching out. He should have some eyes that should be aware of stuff that's going on around him. And then ultimately, he should protect. He should protect his family. He should protect, if he's involved in a church, do his best to protect his business and protect the community. What do we have to do to protect this and not let things in, rather than just sit back and roll with the punches in a sense? And so someplace that, I believe, is on the inside of men, and we want to pull that out, you know, and teach those things. And, you know, one of the things, another thing Ed Cole said, and that's what we base a great deal of our men's ministry off of, is some of his teachings. But he said one of the most powerful things you could do is create an image. The second most powerful thing you can do is destroy an image. And one of the things that with the TV program that we're looking at doing, and with our men's ministry and other men's ministries in this area, there's a number of good ones, is that we're trying to build that image once again of what is manhood. Manhood and Christ-likeness being synonymous. What does that look like? Because for the most part, that image has been destroyed. Mm-hmm. And men, to a degree, you know, what we see, what we basically the Bible says that we become like what we see. There's a process that what we honor, what we respect, we become like. And a lot of what we've respected as men has been sports stars and, you know, the immoral men and the drugs and the alcohol and the wild men to a degree. And because we've almost had that lack of character put in front of us, not based on the color of skin or what have you, but based on the character. We've had some bad characters put in front of us. Yeah. And talking about character, they may be very talented in other areas, but character is bad. And young men have grown up watching those characters, and they became like those characters. And that's the image that's in front of them, because that godly image has somewhat been destroyed. What we want to do is rebuild that image. What does godly character as a man look like? You know, can he ride a motorcycle? Yeah, he can ride a motorcycle. Can he shoot a gun? Sure can. I got a number of them. You know, you can even. I've got some nice deer on my wall. I mean,
but can he teach a child?
Can he teach it? Yes.
Can he grow food? Can he? You know, there's so many examples out in the world, and you know, and sometimes, you know, in our culture, we become enamored with hero worship.
Yes, sir.
But you know, I think a greater thing is, instead of looking for salvation, it's what can we do to save ourselves? Mm-hmm.
You say,
instead of looking for, well, maybe the government or maybe someone will come in and make it all better. And oftentimes, you know, mothers or, you know, think they can do this. We're looking for somebody to fix it. You know, if it's calling upon that within ourselves and in each other, that we can work to make it happen.
You see, a man that's responsible doesn't want somebody else. Something happens to a man, and studies have shown it. When somebody else takes care of that man, and somebody else takes care of that man's family, it destroys something in that man. It destroys that manhood in him. And to a degree, you know, you mentioned heroes. One man said this. He said, I've got good news and bad news for you about heroes. The good news is you'll become just like who your heroes are. The bad news is you'll become just like who your heroes are. Whoever your heroes are, whoever it is your example is. And in church, our example of manhood should be Jesus. It should be men of God. And that should aspire us to do something, to go towards that. But if our heroes are not good examples, who we honor, who we respect, we're going to become like. You know, and if our heroes are bad examples, then guess what? We're going to become like that.
Well, and the reality is that we're mortal. You cut us, we bleed, we are vulnerable. We ask for forgiveness, we look for that understanding in life. But part of it is also, you know, recognizing, like you said, someone said, come on, you can, you know, get back up. Yeah, I know I know that you got it in you. Tomorrow's another day, I want you to move ahead. Yeah. And I think it's important to have that message out there, not just from our leaders, but from each other. Mm-hmm. I mean, you look at, you know, some countries like the Soviet Union, huge issues of alcoholism. Other countries, you know, I mean, it's like, why is that drink more important than the love of strong family and a community? It's because sometimes we're looking to fill something inside of ourselves.
Yes, sir. And I think if you don't find what's in you, if you don't find your purpose, if you don't have some people to believe in, you start filling that void that with something. You know, and it's like, I was in prison one time, I was teaching this men's curriculum, and we had 30, 40 guys in there, and on purpose I told them I'd always come in suit and tie, and I'd tell them, I come in here because I respect you. I dress up for people I respect. So I say, I'm always going to come in here with a suit and tie because I respect you. And I started just about every time and say, guys, I believe in you. I know that nobody else may believe in you, but I believe in you. And I'll never forget one of those meetings, this big guy, I mean, he was probably about 6'4", 260, just a big guy. And he got up, and he stood up and just started to cry. And I said, what's going on, man? He said, I forget how, he was 40-some years old. He said, Pastor Tim, one of the reasons I come to this class is because for the first time in my life, I've ever heard somebody say they believed in me.
Powerful.
And as a man, so part of that with this program and some of the things we do is geared towards, men, we believe in you. If you're a man watching this, we believe in you. I believe that you can be a man of God. You can stand up, and that eagle on the inside of you can come out. And I believe that we're going to do some things that'll help build that image and help pull that eagle out of you.
Well, that's really crucial, and we thank you for so much for making this commitment. And we're also encouraging the other men in this community and women, urge your husbands to get involved too, or your boyfriend. It's so important that we stand up and be counted in this life, because life's too short.
That's right.
And we can make a difference in not only our own lives, but in the lives of our fellow man and our community.
That's right.
So why don't you tell folks how people can get in touch with you?
Well, we're located at 1551 Wood Street, across from the cemetery. Big church building, big high steeple, big pillars out front. And if you would like to give us a call, you can call us at 231-728-2800. You can get some information there. If my secretary answers, or if you get on our voice, all the systems there, they can give you some information there. Our service times are Sunday morning at 10:30. Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, and then we have a once-a-month men's meeting, and you probably need to get to a church service, or you could call and ask about those men's meetings, and we'll be glad to share with you about those. And we've got information, we've got CDs, we've got books, we've got some things that can help you in terms of your manhood and men's ministry.
Well, it's really important that you take a moment to think about it and get involved. And, there's going to be some good subjects you might be able to bring to Pastor Tim's attention, and something that you have in terms of your skill or your background. I'm sure that that Pastor Tim would be glad to talk to you and see how we can work it into the show.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you, Pastor Tim.
Thank
it was
you
a
for
pleasure to
letting
talk
me
to
be
you.
here.
All right. Thank you for joining us on Where Do We Go From Here?